In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a low poly bench using Blender Python API. And the bonus is that we're also going to bake textures, so the textures will show up. So this is a continuation of the previous tutorials where when we try to have textures, they will not show up. So in this one, I'll show you how to get them to show up properly using the GLTF. Quick reminder before we begin is that every day I host a live stream. You visit ojambo.com, go to watch menu, then live sub menu, and then what you do is you see the topics for this and post-dated topics for upcoming live streams. And also with that, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, let's continue here. So basically, to create a low poly bench in Blender with using the Python API, you can also view it in a web browser. I'll show you how to do. We're going to use a special HTML tag for that. So essentially, what we do is we're going to create the bench using the Blender Python API. Then we'll also bake the texture as a WebP image file, and then it will be embedded in the GLB, that's the binary version of the TL file. And then we'll display the final result in a web browser using the model viewer, that's the tab. So we're going to run everything on the command line, but if you want to tweak a few things, obviously, I'll show you how you can also save the blend file, so that way you can open it up, and then in Blender you can go and tweak the any other settings you want. Or because we have the GLB file, you can also open that up in Blender. But sometimes some things might not be saved properly. That's why I also save the blend file. That way you can tweak it if you need to. If there's some things, maybe lighting or camera, things like that as well. Obviously, we don't need a camera because we're going to use the model viewer for that. And also show you in this tutorial some settings you can do for the model viewer in order to get the lighting and things just the way you want. That will be mostly, there'll be introduction, so in a future tutorial I'll show you guys how to, for example, even have HDR textures, so you get even better lighting. Okay, so what we're going to build, as I said before, we're going to build a low poly bench. It's going to be a metallic bench. The texture is going to be procedural, so the metallic part is going to be procedural. Unfortunately, there's no way you can actually create a metallic look just using basic colors. You need to texturize it yes, there's nodes you can do that in Blender, but because we're using GLTF, they don't translate too well, so that's why we need to actually bake it as a bitmap. That's where WebP comes in. Okay, and the web viewer that we use, the model viewer, it is responsive, so you don't need to do anything once you start using it. So I'm going to be using Blender 4.5 to obviously it's going to use the Python API for that version. That recently just came out at the time of this recording. It's a long-term support release, so you should use it when you can. And the code snippet is obviously here. So let's actually get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my folder structure. So as you can see here, here's my folder structure. I have this metal_bridge.py, that's for the Python file, and I have the metal-triangle.html, that's for the HTML that will run into a web browser. And this is the metal-triangle.glb, that's the file that's going to be rendered out and to be viewed in our HTML file. And then, sorry, that's wrong. I should, it's up here, this metal_bridge, not triangle, sorry, bridge. I should probably put this in separate folders so I don't get confused like I do for the markers. Okay, so there we go. Maybe I'll start doing that after the next tutorial. Okay, and then obviously we're going to need the command line. But before we go to the command line, I want to show you the code. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm just using the GNOME text editor. So as you can see, as usual, you import the Blender Python and then the module, and then you also import the operating system, that's OS. The reason we get the operating system is because I like to save everything relative to where the Python file is, meaning that we're going to, as I showed you in the file browser, we need the Blender file, we need the GLB. So if you don't do that by default, it will save it inside your home folder. Then you have to go and find it. Is it in the desktop? Is it here? So I like everything relative to where I'm working. So the first thing we do is we clean everything in the scene. We get rid of all any cameras, lights, and default objects. At the time of this recording, the default objects are usually the cube, and there's a camera, and there's a light. We don't need any of them. If we're going to create some of them, we'll create them ourselves. That way we know how to control them. It's also a good a way of making sure only the things that are in the scene are the ones you want. So if something you don't need, just delete it. And it's easier to control, because when you create something, it's automatically selected, so they don't have to create a loop and loop through everything as well. Okay, so I created a method. This actually ties into someday very recently, I think 2 days ago, Control Alt Delete asked if I could create some Python OOP, that's a type of tutorials, and I told him I do have Blender Python tutorials, and he has one, and the others obviously I'll do it when I do the artificial intelligence ones. So here's a perfect one. So I created a method. It's called function everywhere else. I don't know why Python refers to them as methods, but there you go. So as you can see, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, so hopefully things can fit in one line. No, not quite, but so I add a cube, then select that cube, and I give it a name. I call it bridge, and then I scale it down. So it's just a cube. A cube will be scaled down, and then after that we need some pillars. So those are, if you don't know what those are things at the end. So again, I basically just add cubes and just scale them to the appropriate scale that we want them to be. So now, before I continue, some of you guys are going to say, hey, wait a minute, you just said that this is going to be a metal bench. Why is everything called a metal bridge? Well, originally I was going to create a metal bridge, but then it was a little bit too complex. I wanted to keep this as simple as possible. So I then decided, you know what, I'll just make a bench for now, and then in future tutorials it will be easier to expand on everything I've done so far. So I actually create the bridge later on, because a bridge you need to hoist it up. And I said it's to make it more realistic, you need more. You need to make it bend and all that. So that would not be low poly, and it would be difficult. So that's why I kept it just nice and simple. And it actually looks more like a bench than actually does a bridge. So I'll show you in the future with we can fake not fake. We can change the camera angle, then make it look like a bridge. But now I'll just call it a bench, because it does actually look like a bench. And then after that, we select everything and basically group it so that basically join it to the base object, and then that's our bridge, and that's it. We're done. Then we need materials. So what we do is we create a new material. Again, we use a method for that, and we call it metal material, and we use nodes. By default, it's on, but if people are using an older version of Blender, it might not be the default. I think in the past it was not yours, had to use nodes, so make sure you do that, just keep it up. And we clear the default nodes, because we're going to create our own. So we create a noise. Usually when we do any procedural text, not just textures, actually textures, yes, we always use a noise. So we need a noise shader, and then we pass it to the shader node output. And then we have the base color, so we just give it a dark gray one. Then we set the metallic value to 1, roughness is set to 0.3, sorry, and then we connect it to the surface. And then after that, this material we append it to our bridge object. Then what we need to do, we need a UV map. So basically to unwrap the our texture we just created. So that's what we do here. We go into edit mode, then we do the UV smart project. The angle is 66%, then we go back to the object mode. Then after that, we create the image. So basically, we bake it. So we bake it. We make it. Hey, hello. Kuma. Hi. Hello. How are you? All right, and then after that, we create our texture node. So we use the texture node, and then we use our baked image. Oh, great to hear that. And then we use the cycles engine, because even to this very day, right now in 2025, the EV does not do this, so we have to use a cycles engine. So we use the CPU. The CPU is more accurate. If you have a nice GPU, yeah, you can use that as well. But oh no, I always do. Oh yeah, I've been, I think for about 1 or 2 months now, I've been creating a Blender Python object. I said I wanted to keep them simple, because normally that's usually what people do, especially for the web, but we can get really complex. Like, for example, you can do things like well, I don't want to spoil it now, but I'll show you guys in the future. I have some things planned which are really amazing with Python. For example, I'm training an AI as well, so you could probably get the AI to model, for example, something as simple like you could take my face, and I could say I want to look like a cat, and then get a Python to open up Blender, get maybe a picture of my face and make it like a cat, things like that. Now, I know there are apps which already do that for you, but you don't know what they do with your data, so it's always best to, if you understand how things work, you can do it yourself. Okay, so where are we? Oh yeah, then we use the diffuse, and then after that we obviously export the texture, and then we also save it as well. And then for the nodes, obviously now we're going to use our texture node, because we have our baked image. We no longer need the previous nodes that we did. So that's why we set the metallic value to 1, roughness to 0.3 as well, and then the base color, obviously that's our baked texture. Then we save the Blender blend file, and we also export our GLB file. So it's a GLTF, and then the export format is GLB. So GLB is the binary version. If you use the default GLTF, it's going to be JSON, so it's going to be a huge file, but it's easier to parse because it's not binary. And then you see we also have our WebP for the image, and then make sure export materials are set to export, and that's it. So when you do that, it's going to export. I'm going to run this on a command and show you that it does work, but before I do that, actually it takes a few seconds. So let me do that. So what I do here, you simply open up your terminal and zoom in. So just type Blender space -b lowercase, that's for background. If you don't do that, then it's going to open up the GUI and it'll take a while. So you run the things in the background, space -P for Python, and our Python file is metal bridge.py. And then we can watch what's going on here. You see it's going to it's loading the texture, baking it. Let me zoom out a little bit so it'll be easier to read. So you can see it's doing it should just be 1 frame, so it shouldn't take too long. It should be done in a few seconds. I'll put it down here. Yeah, see, it's done. You see it saved and it quit. So great, so that worked. So we don't need this anymore, so I'm actually going to close this. I want to show you the HTML5 so we can get rid of this. So the HTML is just the doc type, then we have HTML tag, we have the meta, not so important, title also important. This is the important part. We have this module. I'm using a CDN, so the links are also in the description here. Here you can the CDN was I think it's Google who actually came up with the model viewer, so you can load it there, and then you can put some styling. It's not necessary, I just like to put this styling. And then this is the part. See the model viewer, it's a tag, the source, and you can set auto rotate, camera controls, environment, image neutral, and exposure. Yeah, there's a lot of settings. I'll go through them in the next tutorial. I don't want this tutorial to take too long. Okay, now with that said, we can actually run this in a web browser, but before we do that, I am going to show you here that our metal bridge, where was it here? What did it save the, I have to go. Oh, low poly bench. It's called low poly bench. So low poly bench is our blend file. Low poly bench. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, I'm gonna open this in Blender. Oops. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so Blender is opened up, and here's our Blender. So you can see this is our bench here. If I show you the textured version, you can see that's our bench. So that's our bench inside the blend file. So for example, if we go to the materials here, you can see it's using the baked texture. And what else can we go? So what you do is you go to the scripting tag, you can grab that code and just paste it here, and it will automatically create this for you. And what else? So we go back to layout. Oh, you can also go to shading. Hopefully it doesn't kill it. Oh, here we go. Here is shading, and you can see in the background it's an HDR image. I said I'll show you how to export that in a future tutorial. And you can see the materials I used here. So I didn't space them out, but basically, there we go. Whoa. Okay. Okay. That was weird. As you can see, it's using the BSDF, baked texture, and the material output here. So now I'm going to close that, and I'm just going to open up the. Great. Okay, that is weird. Alright, so let's finish this up quickly. So I'll open up the web browser. Just a second, let me see if, let me just a second. Okay, the volume thing is not working. I can't do anything about it. Okay, so that's embarrassing. Okay, where is, okay, I need to open up a browser. Let's finish this up quickly. Oh, it's getting hot too. Okay. Alright, so let's drag the HTML file. What's the name of, oh, metal something, I think it was. Metal bridge, here we go. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Oh, I don't think it's gonna work. I think I need to start a. I think I need to start a server. So I'll show you how to do that. Did I close the terminal? Oh, I closed the terminal. So I need to. I'll just start up a Python server. So I'll do that right now. Oh, PHP, it doesn't really matter. Whatever your preference is. I'll use Python for now. Zoom in. So just type Python capital S. Oh no, that's PHP. Oops. Lowercase m space http.server. By default, it goes to 8,000. You can also put the port number you want, so that's perfectly fine. So what I do here, then I just type http localhost 8000 slash what is the name of that file? Metal what is the name of underscore bridge. There we go. Metal underscore bridge dot html. Okay. Why is it not showing up? Let's see if there's an error message. Oh, something has not been found. I think it's the, let me see, inspect here. Oh, there's two errors. What's going on here? Undefined. Oh, okay, that's not me. Let's try it again. Hard refresh. That's weird. Okay, let's look at the code. Bridge. Oh, it's bridge. I think I changed the name to metal underscore, metallic. Okay, there we go. So metallic underscore bridge. Save that. Try one more time. I didn't get it. I spelled wrong. Oh, it's hyphen, not underscore. Okay, that's why. Alright, so gotta be kidding me. Still can't find it. Probably spelled it wrong. Okay, I'll just copy it. I think I spelled it wrong. Okay, hit save. There we go. Oh, wrong one. It's not the triangle. It's the bridge. Where's the metallic bridge? Low poly bridge, I think it would call it, or something like that. Bridge. Oh, here, it's just bridge. It is bridge. Why can't I find it? Low poly bench. Yeah, it is bridge. Weird. Doesn't seem to, says file not found. Okay, maybe I spelled it wrong. Okay, we'll grab this, copy. I don't know why it's not finding it. It's literally right there. I do not know why it's not finding it. It's giving me a 404 error when the file. Maybe it's a permissions, something weird here. Read write. Yeah. What? I don't know why that's not working. Oh, yeah. It says it can't find it for some reason, and it's literally right there. I don't know why it's not finding it. However, I'm not going to. I do not know why that's not working, but that should work. As you can see here, I can prove it to you. Oh, you know what it is? I just realized something. Okay, it does work. I'll tell you. I'm not crazy. It does work. I just realized why it's not working. It's because I'm using OBS, and OBS uses a lot of resources, uses the GPU, So what I'm getting at is that it's not going to work because I'm using a lot of the GPU. Let me explain what I mean. Obviously the GPU is used to render the screen. GPU is also used to, I said OBS also uses it to compress this live stream, create a copy of the video, and obviously as you can see here, it's already running here. So it, I guess the GPU is not strong enough, but it does work. Basically, that also makes sense because if you guys remember, when I went to Blender, this is what it's supposed to look like. It didn't actually look like this. It was a weird off color. So that's because it's because the GPU is being really strained. So I think what I'll do for a future tutorial is I'll just have what do you call it, a B-roll. I'll just have some B-roll to show you guys instead of yeah. So just if this happens again, I'll have some B-roll. I'll prepare for it. Okay, so let's finish this up. As you can see the screenshots here, this is what it looks like when you paste the code in Blender, and then this is what it should look like here as well in the web browser. And also this is the live stream. If this happens, you can have some video. I'll prepare for it. Alright, you can see it's live. Okay, so let's finish this up. I have so many windows open here. Okay, good. So if you want to learn more, I have my books and courses. My books are, for example, Learning Python. It's available on Amazon. Search for Editor Jumbo, links in the description. I also have the Master Blender Python API. It's also available on Amazon. You can search for Editor Jumbo, just click on one of the links in the description. I have a learning course called Learning Python. It's available on jumboshop.com. Links are also in the description. And I also offer one-on-one Python and Blender help. If you need help customizing scripts, learning Blender's API, or building your first 3D web app, I offer one-on-one online Python courses, including Blender scripting. You contact me to book a session at ojambo.com/contact. Okay, so in conclusion, this tutorial gives you a full pipeline for Python-powered 3D modeling in Blender to interact for interactive web display using the model viewer. You have learned how to script geometry, bake textures, export GLB files, and showcase your model online. If you got questions or improvements, share your feedback or creations in the comments below. Happy coding and modeling. Okay, with that said, also a quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day, usually about 2 p.m. Eastern. Visit ojambo.com, go to the watch menu, then the live sub menu for this and post-dated topics for live streams. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. It motivates me to keep making tutorials just like this one, just for you guys, even when it's like hot here in Ontario where I'm dealing with a drought. Okay, I'm going to check the live stream one more time before I close this. And I don't see any more chats, so I'm going to leave this. I'm going to close this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And for Kuma, I hope you have subscribed and give me a like. Thank you, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow, same time.